From NYPD Blue, Andrea Thompson, and on radio, Rick Roberts. And now, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Be happy, people. I know why you're happy, because they killed the tobacco bill in Congress. It's true, the Republicans killed the tobacco bill in Congress, and they said they did it, and I think they were right, because it would have gone, all that tobacco money would have gone to a new government bureaucracy, whereas the system we have now, it goes directly to the congressman. So, that's okay. Yes, it was killed mostly by Trent Lott, the majority leader there, who made such big headlines yesterday talking about homosexuality. Apparently he doesn't care what you have in your mouth. But, no, but he's very anti-gay, and he's also being accused of holding up the nomination as ambassador to Luxembourg of James Formel, who is an openly gay businessman who President Clinton wants to be the ambassador to Luxembourg, but Trent Lott says that is no job, ambassador for a gay man. I mean, it involves living in a glamorous mansion, hanging out with royalty, throwing fabulous parties. What kind of a job is that for a gay man? Yes, President Clinton also made news today saying he will not support the unionizing of the Secret Service. They apparently want to be a union, and he said no. I don't understand that, because their job with the president is to stand around and make sure nothing happens. Doesn't that automatically make them Teamsters? I got a little ahead of me there, which is a good sign, but good when they're smarter than us. And of course you're following this story. Louise Woodward, the British nanny, went back to England today. As you know, the Supreme Court in Massachusetts yesterday said she was free to go home. Well, she took that first opportunity, got on a plane today. She said she can't wait to get back with her family, rest, and beat the crap out of the Teletubbies. That's And a new study out talks today about stalking. Interesting stuff here today. 1 out of 4 people who are stalked is a man. I didn't know that. And they said the most likely people to be stalked, celebrities, professors, and business leaders, which is true. You see that in the paper all the time. Steven Spielberg had a judgment go his way recently. Madonna was stalked, and she said the stalking was the scariest thing she's ever been through, but the sex was incredible. All right, thanks for coming. It's all been satirized for your protection. Alrighty, let us meet our panel. One of the stars of Big Night Primary Colors in the TV series Wings, Tony Shaloub. Tony. There you are. How are you? Good to see you again. Host of I love you. The Rick Roberts Show on KOGO AM San Diego. Rick Roberts. There's Rick. Right down the road. How are you, Rick? She plays Jill Kirkendall on NYPD Blue. Andrea Thompson. Hello, young lady. Great pleasure to meet you. And her nationally syndicated radio show is on WOR weeknights at 7. A comedy legend, Joan Rivers. Hello, legend. How are you? Good to see you. Yes. Well, it's great to see you all. And you are a legend.
Yes, you are.
No. And I read in the paper, I couldn't believe this, because you look my age, which is late 20s.
Yeah, we're all that age.
You are now eligible for Social Security. And I thought we should bring that up, because there is a dozen new bills here just in California wanting to create special laws for senior citizens. And
thank God. Yeah.
Really, you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like, if you've got somebody who's physically or mentally incapacitated, it's like scamming a child.
And they are children. I have a 90-year-old cousin. I took him to McDonald's this afternoon. He put his food in a bag and ate the Beanie Baby. I mean, they just... have to take care of them.
I don't know what that means. It sounds funny. I'll tell you that. I ate the Beanie Baby. But, no, but listen, they have laws like if a caretaker, someone who is in that line of work, steals from someone over 65, well, stealing should be a crime, period, shouldn't it? Why are we balkanizing people?
Elderly people, for some reason we feel that elderly people have a certain entitlement. They seem fragile like little children. It's a crime. You stole from somebody, period.
Yes, but older people are dying. I mean, and that was Viagra. They're dying and dangerous. But you can't these terrible Ed McMahon letters that they get.
That's true.
Oh, congratulations. You know what the letter should say? Congratulations already. You have won nothing except a lot of, poo-poo. I mean, it's pathetic.
No, but what's the responsibility, Joan? Someone has to read that. I mean, someone has to have some responsibility for themselves. I mean, they sell up everything they own. They cash out all their assets and they fly off someplace. Ed, I'm here. Where's my cat? Oh,
but they're children.
Whose children?
No, unfortunately, we hope they're dead. These children. I mean, these are old people.
They need to be in a home.
I go out with these kind of people. They are. I went out with a guy who went to
they don't get parents in homes.
He took me to the cemetery.
There should be a law against that, then. There should be a law against that.
Yeah, but the question is whether it should be legislated or whether we should be taking care of the rest of us, not you, Joan, should be taking care of them and on our own, whether it's the children of the elderly people or the grandchildren of the elderly people or the other elderly people who are not dotty and who have some
They're all dotty.
They all are?
They hit a certain age.
Yeah, but you know what?
My grandma's 94 years old, and she's the sharpest one in the
marble.
family. No, she doesn't have a body anymore, but she's got every marble. Yeah, absolutely.
But she's very lucky.
But a lot of them want it. You want it both ways. You're saying they're dotty, they deserve special privileges because they are more infirm, and yet you cannot get a law passed that says over the age of 80 even, you need to go back for your driver's license test. Now, it was one way or the other. Either you're so infirm that you need special laws, or get off the road.
I'm for special laws.
Yeah, I am.
I don't want an 8-year-old driving. Let me tell you right now.
And we can put that one right there in the package. No, I don't want any of
But that will never happen.
No, you're right. It will never happen.
Because elderly people vote more than any other people.
Precisely, and it's that entitlement. It's that entitlement right.
Now, personally, I'm looking forward to the day when I don't ride anything faster than a golf cart. And I think after a certain age, that should be it.
Let me tell you, getting older sucks. There is nothing, the golden years to the golden years.
Does it bother you when you see movies out there where the leading man is Robert Redford or Nicholson or Eastwood and they're in their 60s and the leading lady is 28? Does that
bother me? It makes me laugh.
What does that make you laugh?
It makes me laugh. It's ridiculous. You rarely see it, and when you do, when you see someone, when you're in a restaurant having dinner, and you see one of these old guys walking with a 20-year-old girl, you laugh then, too. I mean,
you think it's his niece.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I don't know one young woman who wouldn't do Sean Connery.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen him lately. A lot. Monica Lewinsky wouldn't do him.
I don't think that's all right, we got to take a commercial. We'll be back.
If you're planning to be in the Los Angeles area and would like free tickets to Politically Incorrect, call 213-852-2655.
All right, we were talking about AIDS. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum because I want to ask why this preposterous fixation the media has with people who are barely out of their teens. I mean, every magazine cover, every TV show. There was a study recently by the National Partnership for Women and Families and they said, TV doesn't reflect the public. This is not a nation of only 19-year-olds.
Yeah, if you look at the demographics, the majority of the people in this country are going to be over 40 by the year 2000 anyway.
Then why am I constantly reading about Jennifer Love Hewitt? Do I care?
No, I don't either. Or about Leonardo DiCaprio or any of the rest of them.
Now that they have biographies, the biographies of these
what
people
can have
on the bestseller
happened?
list.
I know.
Leonardo DiCaprio, his biography.
On the bestseller
On the
list.
bestseller list. 12 pages.
Well, that's what I mean. The media treats them like they have something to say, which I'm sorry, you don't. It's wonderful to be young, you're beautiful. You don't have to be interesting.
No.
It wouldn't really be fair if you were at that point, but
I don't care what Leonardo DiCaprio has to say. I don't even care what his father has to say.
But Joan, my 13-year-old daughter cares a lot.
Right.
And she knows how to get into Dad's pocket. And that's what this is all about. It's driven towards the disposable dollar. I mean, no, you don't care.
Well, who has money? 13-year-olds or you?
No,
hello.
Dad's got the money, but I let it go. I let it go for I mean, you keep the grades up. Yeah, we can go see Hanson. You do this, you do that. I mean, all those parent kind of things.
That's the American way. You bribe them.
Yeah, but that's fine. When I was a kid, there were like Tiger Beat and 17 and magazines for kids that had those kids on the cover. Now those kids are on the cover of every magazine, and text follows the pictures. So there are interviews with. Am I thinking? What is the guy?
It has to all be. It has to all be about sex. That's all it is.
disagree.
They're selling sex, and youth and sex are synonymous because nobody wants to think about old people and sex or older people and sex. I mean,
when I'm old, I will.
I'm sorry.
That's not fair. Joan, jump in here.
Joan, I do. I'm saying the other people don't want to think about
go to hell.
It's marketing. It's pure and simple. I don't think it's about sex. My daughter's not buying these. I mean, she's a daughter. She's
How old is she?
She's thinking,
It's about sex.
my daughter's having sex.
Your daughter's having sex with a pillow right now.
That's fine. Until she gets out of the house, I'll buy pillows. I don't care about
Better
that.
not read that Time magazine article then. What the kids know about sex that you don't know.
But yeah.
Oh, no. A lot more than we do at that point.
I knew nothing. I dated Hannibal. My wedding night was.
Bill, you made
That's a long time ago,
They
Hannibal.
believed it.
you made the analogy.
You read Beowulf in installments. I understand. But
you made the analogy that who cares about Leonardo DiCaprio? We don't care, obviously, and it's not 90210, a legend revisited on the documentary channel. We don't care about that, but we're paying for it one way or the other. We're paying for it through the kids.
But are we? Is it the appetite of the American public? Is the appetite there first, or is the appetite created by the media?
Exactly what I'm asking.
Because I'm not sure that and I don't mean to insult the intelligence of the American public, but
Go ahead.
But I will. Do enough people really care about things to begin with, or do they need to be told what to care about or what to be interested in?
But I think in this case, I think the media is behind the public. I really do.
Because you mean that the public is
yes, because I don't think someone of almost any age wants to know what makes that guy on Dawson's Creek tick. That's not what I'm thinking. But they have to put him on the cover of the magazine because that's what they think will sell the magazine. So then the article inside has to be about him. And at 19, how interesting can you be?
At 9, first of all, the reason Titanic was such a hit, who was kidding? Your daughter and kids like that went back to see it 3 and 4 and 5 times. So these people bring in the money. Leonardo is not the brightest bulb on the tree, His idea of heavy reading is Johnny Depp's tattoo. But the point is, it's all money. You know that.
But that's what I'm asking you. The people who have the money are not 14. Why don't they do things?
What you're saying is that the 13-year-olds don't have the money. I agree with that. They shouldn't have the money. But I should have all the money. But I should. But you do. So that's what
All right, I have to take a commercial. We'll try to get to the bottom of that. I don't know. Everybody must have seen on the news this weekend the story of the surprise marriage. The guy who 4 years ago said, I am going to set the wedding date and then find the girl. And what happened? He did get married. 28, I think, women showed up to see if they wanted to marry him. His friends met them, interviewed them, chose the one that they thought would be appropriate for him, and he married her pretty much sight unseen. And people said it's crazy. My question, is it any crazier than doing it over drinks and shrimp toast?
No, I think it's, I mean, I feel sorry for the women who didn't get picked.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for the woman who did get picked, that she would have to get into line to be picked. I mean, when I was single, where were these women who were like looking around? Where did they come from?
And if that guy's really that interesting, wouldn't somebody have wanted to marry him beforehand?
You know, that is a good question.
Yeah.
Why he was...
Yeah, but she's very California. That's a courtship out here. Hello? Let's go. I mean, it's just also, you know, my husband, I married my husband in 24 hours.
Are you serious?
24 hours after you met him?
24 hours after I met him, we had no idea the hair he loved to touch he could take with him to the office. We knew nothing about each other, and it lasted 21 years.
Were you really, really both very drunk?
No, we were Jewish, we were full.
Oh.
And, you know, it's like,
You were very full.
what do you say?
But Tricia, you did almost the same thing. You married somebody who you didn't know.
But we
Because
clicked
you just
with it,
felt...
we just clicked.
And you
But
just...
she has a point. What kind of guy has to hold a lottery to get a wife? I mean, you know, on a serious note, I mean, if we're going to say marriage is an institution, and I know it's a one-liner waiting to happen.
No, I
but
believe in
if
it.
marriage as an institution is to be revered and held sacred to some degree, then, you know, this is nuts. This is nothing more than a media ploy. As soon as the guy gets a book deal, a call from Hollywood, she gets 25%, adios, it's been fun. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
15 minutes of fame.
Well, and there was the other guy, the Jewish guy in Alaska who was looking for a bride. He was willing to move to Alaska. It's the same kind of thing. It does. It takes it and it makes it very insignificant. You know,
Insignificant is a good word.
Much more serious,
what's the difference?
considering the divorce rate.
You are shortchanging a large part of the world which has arranged marriages. Many people around this globe do it this way, and they say it works.
Very successful.
The success rate, because people are in a marriage, and first of all, they feel, well, now we have to work at it. You know.
But also, where is it? Minnesota.
This was it. They got married at the Mall of America. How romantic is that?
I know. Everyone forgets there's a law in Minnesota that the marriage is not considered final for 3 days. So it could be a big hot weekend. They both took Viagra cocktails, ran around, kiss, and Monday morning you go, you want to know? You're a little hairy. Forget it.
But
it's a, you know, a strip and a kiss.
how romantic. But there's also something to be said for the fact that these two are entering into a completely virgin territory as far as their sex life goes.
Right.
Their sex life is going to be pretty hot for like the first few years of their marriage, whereas most people get married after they've been dating a few years when they're already tired of it.
Yeah. But how do you
The
know?
wedding night is a disappointment.
Aren't they all?
Well, not yours. You only knew the guy a day.
Yeah, but I didn't know the facts of life. No, still, I could have a whole routine of this.
No.
That's why, no, but what if they don't like each other sexually? See, I think today, before you get married, truly, people should sleep with at least 6 people. The sex is a big...
At the same time?
No, at the same time, no. That's an idea. Because sex is so important. What if they get into bed and they find out
Test drive that car first.
Yeah, test drive.
Getting back to this is a joke, Phil. You know this. You're the best in the world at jokes. This is a joke. The guy wanted some media coverage.
She's the best in the world.
No, she's not good.
And I remember that routine from 1968. I remember your husband, you got into bed, you were naked, and he said, let me help you with those buttons.
And I said, I am naked. I am naked, right? That and that. In my first routine, I didn't go for it.
And you didn't want the light on? You said close the car door? I remember your whole act. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. I remember. I'm not kidding.
when our guests will be James McDaniel, Jack LaLanne, Megan Gallagher, and Roger Stone.
All right, we're talking about marriage and seniors, yes?
I just wanted to ask Rick what you would think if 5 years down the road, 7 years down the road, or 10, this couple is still married, has 2 or 3 kids, they're doing well, they're thriving.